Welcome back. One of the many terrible consequences of the Democrats' divisive Get Trump circus is that we're not paying attention to some absolutely seismic and disastrous developments in foreign policy. This week, China made a massive global advance by strengthening its ties with Saudi Arabia, which joined a China-led security bloc and signed a multi-billion-dollar energy deal. This comes straight after China brokered a peace deal between Saudi Arabia and Iran. It's all a massive humiliation, not just for America, but Biden personally. Just listen to what he said in Saudi Arabia in July.
Let me state clearly that the United States is going to remain an active, engaged partner in the Middle East. We will not walk away and leave a vacuum to be filled by China, Russia, or Iran.
Well, it seems like Biden fist bumped his way out of that promise. But at least we still have our allies in the South, right? Not under Biden. China is advancing there too, as just the other day, China struck a deal with Brazil to ditch the US dollar and use China's currency for trade. Now, investors are being told to prepare for the fall of the petrodollar. We already saw Xi and Putin cementing the China-Russia anti-America alliance and extending it to India. India, the world's largest democracy, which should be 100% in our corner. With Trump, that was looking so positive.
Friends, I present to you my friend, India's friend, the President of the United States of America, Mr. Donald Trump. हम सब खड़े होकर के नमस्ते ट्रम्प, नमस्ते ट्रम्प।
But Biden seems to have alienated everyone with his sanctimonious but utterly cack-handed foreign policy. This is a really big deal, not least economically. Look at this. The Western alliance, the G7, was just this week overtaken by the BRICS. Brazil, Russia, India, China, Saudi Arabia, and a handful of others like Egypt. What's happening to America? We used to be the world's leader. Everybody wanted to be our ally. Now, she is the one swaggering across the world stage, while Biden staggers around, barely waking up from his nap. It's incredible to see how far we've fallen in influence and prestige under this decrepit non-entity of a president and his grey technocratic team of foreign policy geniuses. Let's remember that the next time the establishment tells you what a good idea it is to put someone with decades of foreign policy experience in charge. Here to react, former State Department spokesperson Morgan Ortagus, who really is a foreign policy genius. Morgan, it's been a while. Great to see you. What do you make of all these developments?
Thank you, Steve. It's so good to be back.
I'm sorry, maybe you didn't hear my question. I was just asking you, what do you make of all these developments?
So I think you brought up incredibly important points tonight that didn't get a lot of coverage. Let's peel back the onion, Steve, and look at the bigger picture of what the Chinese Communist Party is trying to do. They are trying to dominate the world stage. So we are entering an era, we talked about this at the beginning of the Trump presidency, of great power competition. What does that mean? It means that we're in a struggle in region for region around the world of communism versus democracy. And what you're seeing China try to do is not only to replace us as the dominant military power, but the dominant economic power as well. So they are going country by country, inch by inch, bit by bit to take off, to bring away our friends. Saudi Arabia and Brazil are excellent examples that you brought up. So what do we see happen in Saudi Arabia? First of all, the administration was completely surprised whenever Saudi Arabia and China came out with Iran, which is Saudi's number one foe, number one enemy, to announce that they were bringing ambassadors back together, opening embassies, that they had come to a deal. Not only we were not a part of that deal, we were surprised by it. We learned about it in the newspaper with everyone else. And so that just goes to show that Saudi Arabia sees Xi Jinping as a better mediator, a better partner than President Biden. And that's a precarious position to be in. Is Saudi the perfect friend? No, they're not. But exactly what President Biden said that he would not allow to happen in the Middle East and around the world is happening in terms of us losing our influence, us losing, key negotiations. Same thing going on in Brazil as well, Steve. It took Biden, I think, over a year to call Bolsonaro when he was the president of the year, because I think because he didn't like him. And I'm hearing this from allies, especially around Latin and South America and in the Middle East, that the Biden administration is so distracted by the Russia-Ukraine conflict that they're not focusing on anything else. And we are ceding our influence in these regions. Why does that matter? It matters because China is not doing that. In fact, they're doing the opposite. They're doubling down.
Exactly. Exactly. What a great tour of the world there, Morgan. Fantastic. Great to see you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.